would you like it?
Oh, gee!
Hello! Hello! How the lovebird?
George, come on in.
Thought I'd drop by, saw the lights. Are you all right?
Yeah, don't mind me, George.
Mr. Sanderson, that must be your new bride.
Well, she's not exactly new, George.
Oh, I know what you mean, Mr. Sanderson. Very few of them are these days. But I'm liberal-minded, though, so what the heck?
Jan. Jan. This is George.
Pleased to meet you.
You'll have your hands full there. When was the wedding?
What wedding?
But I thought that this was...
We've been married for 6 years.
6 years?
We just haven't been together for a while.
Oh, I see. Well, is everything all right here?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
It's still a bit dusty, though, ain't it? Can always feel it. Dries the mouth right out. Yes, sir. Very dry.
Would you like a drink, George?
The coffee's ready.
Coffee. My doctor says I shouldn't drink coffee. Too stimulating, you know.
Hot chocolate?
It brings me out in a rash.
We do have some whiskey.
Now you're talking. Well, not too much, eh? Just a small mug. Be fine. Yeah, it's a good old house. Solid, no leaks or nothing. Yeah, I bought it a few years back for my boy Robert, but he's not too keen on farming, so I just rents it out. Yeah, I think he'll enjoy it here. Well, last bunch sure did. They'd still be here now if it weren't for the ghosts.
Ghosts?
Well, I don't believe in them myself, Mrs. Sanderson, but these are city folk. They'd read too many books.
What ghosts?
About 50 years ago, there was a ghastly murder took place in this very room. It was a young woman about your age.
What was that?
Greg, there was a murder committed in this very room.
Well, a long time ago, eh?
How fascinating.
I hope you folks don't believe in ghosts.
The only thing I believe in is science. To me, a ghost is just a chemical in someone's brain.
I'm glad you feel that way. This house has scared off a lot of people over the years. Now, it's a ghost that scare them mainly. And the blood.
Blood?
There's a red stain that appears on the floor. It's this young woman's, they say. They found her body right there, lying in a pool of blood. They say whenever there's a murder around these parts, that the floor turns red.
Welcome back to Midday. We are down at the Sagebrush Theatre this afternoon where the curtain is about to lift on the latest production from Western Canada Theatre. It's called I'll Be Back Before Midnight, and we have David Van Bell joining us to talk a little bit about this production. Thank you very much for taking the time.
My pleasure.
Yes, tell us a little bit about this. We just watched a scene, and it looks like it's spooky, but I also understand it's supposed to be quite funny as well.
Yeah, it's got some comedy in it as well. It's definitely a thriller. So it's the kind of show. I'll Be Back Before Midnight is a play that has lots of surprises and a few little fun scares in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a couple that goes to a remote farmhouse to kind of reconnect in their marriage, and as might be expected, it doesn't go particularly well.
Mm-hmm. So it turns out there is a murder in the house. We saw that in the little part that we watched, and apparently red blood appears on the floor every time there's a murder in the area.
Apparently, yes.
So it seems like that really freaked out your wife.
Yeah, well, and she's in a bit of a fragile state. She's just sort of come out of the hospital, which is one of the reasons why we're trying to reconnect, and there's some questions about her sanity and about whether or not she's going to hold it together through this.
Fantastic. So when does it, where do the comedy parts come in?
They have a farmer that they rented the house from who comes in and brings a lot of the comic relief, but there's also a lot of kind of good gags set up as well, too. I think it's one of the things that's really strong about the play is that, you know, every few minutes there's something that comes along, whether it's a scare or a laugh, to sort of keep you hooked in.
That's awesome. Let's talk about the set. I love it.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, it's got this good, cozy sort of mid-1980s feel to it.
Yeah, definitely. The 80s have been kind of a fun playground for us on this show, and Daryl Cloran, the director, I think made a deliberate choice to set it in the 80s rather than make it contemporary, because there are some twists in the play that would be completely undone if one of the characters had a cell phone. And so you realize how much that technology has changed the mystery genre forever.
I also enjoy this Afghan.
Isn't that nice?
This is a beauty. My grandma had several of these, so I'm just going to use this. It's a little bit chilly on my legs,
Keep
but I'm
yourself
good.
warm, Susan. Yeah.
You are also a playwright.
I am.
Last season, you had your show Liberation Days playing here.
That's right,
Let's
yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah, so this has actually been my, I've sort of gone through Kamloops on various times, but I've had the opportunity to spend some time here over the last couple of years and really enjoyed it. Daryl directed the show, which was a co-production between Theatre Calgary and Western Canada Theatre. So I had the opportunity to come down and see it remounted here in this beautiful space. So it's been really nice to kind of engage with the Kamloops community again.
Is it easy to transition between working as a playwright versus acting in a production?
Well, they're different jobs in that the playwright is kind of can be sort of a solitary business, and acting is very social, and you get a lot of energy from just sort of being out in the crowd. And so I find that they're actually quite complementary. So I'm working on a few new plays, which I'm actually going to be writing while I'm out here.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Who will this appeal to, would you say? What kind of audience do you think will get the most out of this?
I think people that are really looking for a good time in the theater will really enjoy this. It's the kind of play where you can sit down and just kind of take the ride, and there's I guess all kinds of different fun to be had during this show.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today.
My pleasure.
Fantastic. I'll Be Back Before Midnight is now running at the Sagebrush Theatre now through until February 6th. And if you're looking for tickets, you can go to kamloopslive.ca. We're back after a 2-minute break. Stay with us.
Who murdered her?
Well, story goes like this. There was a hermit who lived up where the quarry is now. He was deformed, quite grotesque, apparently. I guess that's why he became a hermit. Yeah, well, the farmer who lived here sold the mining rights to this company who wanted to start quarrying up there. The old hermit, though, wouldn't move, so they drove him off. But that very night, he crept back, forced open that window, and stabbed the farmer's daughter to death right in this room, just before midnight.
Did they ever catch him?
Nope, he never did. But a lot of folks around here claim they've seen him.
Surely he'd have died long ago.
Oh, this is his ghost, what people see. They say you should never go up to the quarry at night, and you should never stay in this house. I shouldn't be telling you that, should I?